Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and it's time for another random destruction. I've done a couple of reviews this week. I've done a battlefield video, so I think it's time for a random destruction today. And I do realise that some days will be a random destruction as well, but I've got quite a bit of footage. So yeah, I just think it's about right. Next week I am planning on reviewing the Scorpion through the week, the M56. And also the Lerva Black, hopefully, as well. So I'll be on the Xbox either over the weekend or next week. And I do realise that is it next week or the week after that Fury and 131 are coming on. I don't know about reviewing Fury, depends how different it is from a standard Easy 8. Tiger 131, more than likely, for those of you that have asked as well. Now, anyway, we're on Overlord. It's a tier 9 match. I'm in the VK4502A, and I did say that you probably won't be seeing much more of this, and this is the last match that I played in it that got me enough XP to unlock the 4502B. So I thought and it was a decent match, so I thought I'd save it and show it you, and it's a standard battle. It's got a 105mm gun, or a 10.5cm if you prefer, 200mm of pen, 5.9 rounds a minute, 320 average damage. The turret's 185, 80 and 80, and the hull armour is 120, 80, 80, and that's of course front, sides and rear. Now I've come sort of almost to the middle, slightly left of centre. I've not got the best gun depression. If I had, I'd be over on the western side of the map, down the zero line. I don't tend to go down the beach on this map, to be honest. I think I've only been on it once, possibly down the beach. I don't know why. I don't know. I think the more traditional heavy tanks tend to go down there, but I could be wrong anyway. But I've come to the middle. I'm trying to sort of hide and side scrape behind this wreckage, but I've got an STI or an ST1, whichever you'd like to call it. I'm going to stick with STI. Yeah, I've got that giving me a bit of hassle, and there's a, what was it round there? Was it a T-54 as well, just around that building? So I've got to be careful. Now the STI is a very tough target to penetrate from the front, but I have been managing to go through his lower plate as he's coming up and over that rise. He's got crap gun depression. So he's got to come quite far over there before he can actually shoot, so it's given me some shots on his lower glacis. But I've had to pull back because I had seen this motherland coming up here, and I was trying to pull back, keeping the wreckage in between me and that STI, because it's looking a bit of a mess over on that western side. And like I say here, now I've got to keep half an eye on the motherland just over this rise, but I'm also trying to get some shots in at that T-54 down there, and if I don't go too far up and over here I should be alright. But the motherland's coming back and he's gone, and so was that heavy. Can I get the... no, just tracked him. Oh, and I just angled to take a bounce off my upper glacis and pull back a bit. The enemy tank's over on that western side. The Conqueror's about dead. The T-54E1's taken a little bit of damage, but the T-10's in a fairly bad way, so hopefully they should be able to deal maybe with them, but I'm still going to keep an eye over on that side. I can't go too far from here because there is a bit of a push coming down there still. There's still the STI. Is that another T-54 possibly? And there was only one heavy tank holding them off. Now, something I did forget to mention in yesterday's video, and it's pretty glaringly obvious, comic book mode's gone, hasn't it? It was supposed to be here until the 8th, and yeah, it's gone. Well, when I put this on the 4th, I can't remember what day that was it Tuesday, possibly? But yeah, when I put it on, and obviously it loaded up in comic book mode. I didn't know what it was. I went and had a look and obviously found out it was comic book mode from the website. Oh dear, WZ131's got behind me, and I'm making a right cock up of turning round, but I thought he was going the other way, so I started turning my turret and he wasn't, and oh my, can I kill him just before I die? Oh, and now the A43 is having a go and he's just bounced. Or did that get absorbed by the tracks? No, it doesn't look like they took any damage, and now he's tracked and he's got awful gun depression, and he's now being set on fire and burnt to death. Poor guy. It was a good effort. Well, yeah, it was an effort. Not to belittle or anything, but it was one of those situations where he made his push. I think if it had come a bit sooner, possibly with the 131, they might have taken me out then. But yeah, he made his push, and it just didn't work, unfortunately. So I'm going to try and sneak over on the STI. Now, as I was saying, yeah, I put it on, saw the comic book mode, wondered a bit what was going on, went and had a look on the website, found out what it was. But they didn't, on the launch screen, now they have the news updates down the right hand side. When I put it on and comic book mode launched, there was nothing there mentioning it. I had to, go to the console website to find out. And some people actually thought the game was broken, deleted it and reinstalled it in an attempt to fix it. But obviously it wasn't broken. And then when I put it on yesterday, the news feed was updated with the comic book mode thing saying about it, but comic book mode had actually gone. So whether they've just had that many complaints, I don't know. But on the forums there was a poll about whether people liked it or not, and I think it was something like 82% no. So, oh dear. Yeah, I was hoping to sneak up on the STI, but and I hate that when that happens. Something kills you and then a second later it gets taken out. But yeah, I just went out a bit too far, and he wasn't facing the other way like I hoped he was and like he was before, but I think yeah, just bad luck, I think. But not a bad match. 6,617 XP, but that was a ×3 boost. Yeah, I was trying to get out of it. 1,900 damage, 1,600 assisted, and a little bit of blocked at 550. But it did put me top of the table, which is always nice when you're not top tier, like I say before. Or like I've said before, should I say. And it was a nice match for the tank to go out on. It's always nice when you get a good match. When you're finishing in a tank and it's the last one you need. Yeah, it's always nice when you go out on a good one. I don't like getting rid of a tank after a really bad match. Anyway, we're in the Hidden StuG III now, and I like this tank. I do. I've had the StuG IV obviously for a little bit because I bought it and reviewed it. And it's not really left my garage, to be honest. I think I've been in it a couple of times since I did the review. And that was for crew training purposes. And that's it. But with the Hidden, yeah, I've been in it. I've been finishing off the ASOP. But it's not just been for that. I've finished off the ASOP and I've still been in it. I really quite like this little tank destroyer. It's a good, fun tier 5 to have a go in. And the camo rating, well, it is fantastic, as you know, and yeah, it's been living up to its name, the Hidden. I've been shooting, obviously, sometimes I've been shooting from concealment and really not being seen even when firing, and that's, in other things that are similar to this, you would have been seen very easily. Probably even before you fired, never mind, after. And there have been times where I've actually been sat in the open, not overly far away, maybe 250, 300 metres, and yeah, I've not been seen. It doesn't happen every time. I have been seen at sort of 250 metres before, but yeah, I think it was maybe 300 metres away, and I just wasn't seen until I actually fired, and it's, yeah, very, very sneaky tank, but I do like it. A bit of a weedy gun though, 16 rounds a minute, 110 pen, 110 damage, but it does add up with the rate of fire, and it works. You get preferential matchmaking, so you don't see above tier 6. But yeah, the gun does work on it. I've not really got any complaints. Like I say, it's a little bit weedy, but I can't complain about it. You've got 80mm of armour on the front, 30 on the sides, and 50 on the rear as well. But again, your 80 is only in places. But I do like this tank, and it's got a good silver bonus as well. So. But I'm going to pop up over here. I've come up to the hill. I was contemplating, as you probably saw before, going across to the other side of the valley, again down the western side of the map, the 0 line. But I just changed my mind, basically. Thought, no, do you know what, I'm going to go up the hill. I'm going to use the gun depression, because it is very good, it's 10 degrees. And I'm going to use that to basically try and work this hill in the middle as best I can. try and take that T-34. Missed the first couple of times, but I think I've found my groove now. Yeah, there we go. Can I get him again? He's slowing down, but yeah. See, sometimes when you rush in and you expect him to carry on, I'll put a shot in front of him, but I've managed to take him out now. And that's him dealt with. Now, moving on, because the sweeping round down that western side. Did I say west before? I meant eastern side down the 0 line. Now they're going down the western side. I've been no good navigating. Down the 1 line. I think I probably said the wrong side on the map as well before this on the match. So I do apologise. Obviously, I meant the other side. If I did say the wrong thing, if I said the right thing, then I meant that side. If that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, our guys are coming down that western side now. So there's nothing up there. And it's just a case of, well, yeah, cleaning up, really. Took out the Marder. There's an SAU 40. Oh, that bounced. That went slightly high, though. There we go. And against the tier 4s, because more often than not, you are in tier 5 matches in this. This is technically a tier 6, but there's only one tier 6 on each side. Oh, yeah, sorry, it's... I never actually said where we were. Well, it's a standard battle. Technically a tier 6 match. And I've completely forgotten the name of the map. So, there you go. We're on this one with the bridge. Westfield, that's it. Right, pull back a bit. I did go a bit far forwards there and take a hit for it. But I've managed to set him on fire and he's burnt to death. And now this is going to be dangerous. I need to back up and he's missed. Can I get the last hit before he reloads? Yes, I can. Now I think I took a hit from over on the right hand side. Or am I getting ahead of myself slightly? There's the hit from the right hand side. So I was going to go for the captured KV-1 and try and take him out as he's pulling back down the hill. But the last remaining heavy is over in that corner somewhere. I don't know what business he's got over in that corner, really, to be honest, unless he'd, you know, actually moved forwards and ended up pulling back. But ideally, in a T14, he should have been a bit further forwards. But it could be a new player, could be unfamiliar with the game, could be his first premium tank that he bought, so I'll give him a break. And miss that one. Again, I'm going to try and use the gun depression to expose as little of the tank as possible, but that's a moot point, as he's dead anyway. But without comic book mode, you can see all the rubble better on the tank. It looked a bit of a mess before. To be honest, you couldn't really pick anything out, but now you can see it better. But I came out of that with 144,000 silver, but don't get too excited. Some of that was from ops, a high caliber and an ace tanker again, with 5 kills and 1500 damage. So not bad. I got 5,000 from that one, 30,000 from the Hidden StuG Ace, and an extra 50% from the Dark Horse drop. Which is, if you do, yeah, if you're basically going in any of the Dark Horse comic tanks at the minute, you get the Dark Horse drop, I think, on wins, possibly. But I do like it. Like I say, I've hardly been in StuG 4 since I got it. I think I've been in it twice. I've taken this out quite a bit. It's good fun. And last but not least, and I know you've seen this a few times recently, so I do apologise. I was going to put an AMX 12T1 up, but I've saved that for Sundays in the M6A2E1 or the Mutant 6. It is a Tier 8 match. Again, technically, there is one Tier 8 on each team, so you would expect me to do very well in a tank like this. I'm going to try not to disappoint you. But yeah, it was a fun match. I'm not going to say much more than that because I don't want to give too much away or any spoilers, but it was a fun match. And that's why I've shown it, I think. Like I say, I wasn't going to bother because I've shown this a few times recently. And I promise, apart from a review of it in a few weeks, because I haven't done one, again, surprisingly. I thought I would have done one of this by now, but I think with all the stuff going into the store, this hasn't been in, so that's why I've probably not got round to it yet. But yeah, I promise that next week you'll not see this for a week or so, because yeah, I've been in it a lot recently. But I do like it. Excuse me. 105mm gun again. Bit slower rate of fire than T29, but other than that, it's basically the same. 198 pen, 320 damage. 229 armour on the front of the turret, 203 on the back. Not a particularly good 89 on the sides, but then again, it can, it can bounce the odd shot from the lower tiers. 191 on the front of the hull, and again, different story for the sides though, 66 and 51. And it is, like a claymore, front towards enemy at all times. And I've just had to pause it there to clear my throat properly, because I'm not going to do it again. But my throat still hasn't recovered quite fully. Anyway, again, I was going to go along the southern part of the map, around that central peninsula, would you call it, promontory, whatever you'd like to call it. It's a bit small for a peninsula, but it does have a bit of water either side. But anyway, there you go. I'll leave that up to you. But yeah, I was going to go down that way, but a lot of the team were heading down that way, and it was very, very sparse up on the airfield, and that is not a good thing. There's normally quite a push around here, although there does seem to be a bit of a push down in the south as well. But yeah, somebody needed to come up here and help that other heavy out and basically try and cover up here as best they can. And I didn't have particularly good feelings about this match with how the spread was. But I managed to put one in the side of the jumbo. He missed me. But I've got to be careful, because just round that corner on my left are a few other tanks. A couple of heavies. If they keep an eye on the map, they'll be aware I'm up here now. And this, I don't know, it was funny decisions this match. I decided to go for these guys, and in a way, it was kind of good because they were starting to come up and over this way. Some people might be saying I should have gone after the Sherman Jumbo. Others might say that I attracted the attention of these guys, but that T-43 looked as though... Was it a T-43? I think it was. He looked as though he was coming up and over here anyway, and I sort of put him off. But the Jumbo managed to come up and put a shot into the back of me, but very little damage, so I'm not too worried about that. But now, yeah, I have attracted the attention of those guys. They've taken out whoever they were fighting with, and now they are coming after me. That other heavy over there either hasn't noticed me or wants to just get into cover, and yeah, now it's a bit of chasey, but I need to get the front of my tank pointed back towards them. Yeah, I took a hit in the back from the T-43. Quick auto aim, and I know that was, I should have really aimed that myself, but I'm just trying to manoeuvre to get the front of my tank facing towards the Hammer and the Panther. Now I have, yeah, the Panther wasn't as keen to try and get round alongside me, although he was still going to have a go, which is why I went at him, and it, forced him to go back a bit. But I am very aware that the T-43 is coming around on that side, and that where I am now, I could quite easily be outflanked on my right as well. This T-43 needs taking out. Oh, luckily he's bounced. All the tracks absorbed it. Can I reload before he does? Yes, I can. And now turn back to try and stop this Panther, who again had seen his opportunity and was trying to get round alongside me. And now he's going to track me to stop me turning. I can't let him get around the side of me, so I've got to use my repair kit. Oh, and he missed. Oh, thank you for small graces. And that allowed me just to reload and finish him off as well. But I'm in a bad situation. I'm the only guy left. I'm being outcapped, and I'm on 155 health. Oh, and here comes an E25, and that's my own fault. I auto-aimed again while I was manoeuvring. And if I'd have done that, I probably... Yeah, if I'd have aimed properly, I probably could have taken out the E25. Maybe survived the 12T, but I very, very much doubt it. That 12T, I think, was going to kill me regardless. But sometimes it just doesn't go your way. But I came out of that with 102,000 silver, 2,000 XP, and that's on a loss. 2,804 damage done, and 2,910 blocked with a sniper medal as well. And I came top of the team, and it's a little disappointing because I think the nearest guy damage-wise on me on the team is 935. So I did, yeah, just about triple the nearest damage dealer on our team. But yeah, these things happen, don't they? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. And as always, I'll be back Sunday with another video, so take care out there and I'll catch you next time. See you later.